So this week's craft is our Christmas craft, and we are going to be making these little tabletop yarn wrapped Christmas trees. Tabletop decoration Christmas trees. I didn't come up with a name for it, but that's what it is. It's this. And so in your kit, you are going to have 3 spools of the yarn that you chose. And the lovely Lauren wrapped these for us. It should be plenty of yarn for each tree. They are labeled small, medium, and large for your small, medium, and large tree. And they are also cut in half. And I'll tell you why here in a second. And so this is your yarn that you will use. And then you also have your little wood dowel trees. I cut all of these to size, and I tried to make them all comparable. They should all match. And to where they kind of can be arranged in a stair-steppy kind of way. And then also in your kit is your base, which Rachel's husband and her, they went out into their backyard and they found, trying to do this with the kids home, sorry. Hey Elias, can we wait? Can we wait a little bit, please? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. And her husband Justin found a wonderful smelling cedar tree. So it smells like Christmas also. So he cut a bunch of little slabs for us. This is natural. My husband did sand them down on the tops and trying to get some of the they were really like splintery, but they still are a little bit, but it's more kind of natural. And then my husband also drilled the 3 holes in it for you to arrange your trees in. The holes are perfect for the size of your dowel, so they won't wiggle around. They will be stable in there. And they could only find 1 tree. We were able to get a little over 50 of the slabs, but trees grow the way they grow. So some of y'all are gonna have really small, kind of some smaller pieces like this, and then some might have really big pieces. So we did the best that we could with what we had and with staying within our budget. But if the sizing is awkward for you or you want something else, there are lots of options for bases at Hobby Lobby or Michael's too if you would rather have a different base. I am going to take a little time lapse so that you can see how I wrapped mine, and I'll try and like slow down the parts where, so my little tip as to why we split the yarn in half. It ends up being a lot of yarn and you can get kind of tangled in it, but also since not knowing if y'all have glue at home or not, or I knew at least for what was going to be an in-person meeting, can't have everyone sharing all the hot glue and whatnot. So having 2 parts, and this just in general is easier. You can then have 1 section start from the bottom where you can tie it down here and be able to wrap this section right here. You'll like wrap this, and then also when you then have your other part, then you can easily wrap this part. Otherwise, if you have 1 string of yarn, it ends up getting kind of tight on either end when you're at the end of your yarn and you're trying to like tuck it all in. And then also this way, it kind of helps keep the yarn from slipping off from the top or the bottom because your tension will be working inward. And then when your ends meet, you can tie them together. You'll have a knot. You can square knot it, and then you can either trim off your ends or you can tuck them in. Now this yarn, I did kind of measure more for this being lined up so that you could see the texture of this. But on the other ones, I kind of went a little more, just wrapped it as much as I could, and you know, you kind of get some different directions going. So however you want to do it, we originally were gonna weave it, but it took forever to do one tree and it took more yarn. So I thought wrapping would just be easier, and it still looks super cute. So hope you guys have fun. I'll create a time lapse. Also, this is super easy to do while just sitting on the sofa while you're in your meeting or while you're watching TV or whatever. You want to sit? Okay, I knew I should have cleaned your face before making a video. You look very wild. Oh, let's not chew on the wood. So, yeah, which I might do for my time lapse. I might be sitting on the sofa. I'll see if I can get that arranged correctly. So, hope you have fun with it. I'm super excited about this one. I think it's super cute. And I don't think you can go wrong with it. So, please post in the group. I'll make a little master thread. And I would love to see what everyone came up with. Bye. Okay, so I just finished my trees, and I watched back my time lapse and realized, hey, you can actually see the little tips I wanted to make sure you saw. There's our trees. So the way that the dowels are glued together, they are layered on top of each other. And so whenever you're doing the top, you might figure this out on your own. I didn't figure it out my first time. It took me a little bit. But I just made sure to kind of crisscross in and out through here until it covered, go around, some more crisscross to just kind of secure the top. It doesn't end up looking too bulky. You can pull it pretty tight. There's a little bit of a bulb, but it doesn't bother me. I don't know what you want to do if it bothers you. But so that's kind of how that looks, just kind of crisscrossed and wrapping around. And then on the bottoms here, I also crisscrossed over this 2 times this way, 2 times that way, just to kind of fill that space up. And then, other side note, found out not all of the spools did get cut in half. And so probably so I actually went through on my first 2 and cut them in half, and then it wasn't quite, whatever. It's actually just as easy depending on how much yarn you have, because some of the ones like the white velvet and the green, since it is thinner, you guys got a lot of yarn, so you might want to cut that in half. But these thicker ones, you could probably just wait until you kind of get halfway, cut there, and then start from the bottom or the top, either way, and work in. And then also, you want to make sure that whatever way you're going, wrapping in one direction from either the top or bottom, that when you start from the other side, that you have your yarn going the opposite direction that this one was. On one of these, I ended up accidentally going the same direction, and so I ended up with this little mess because I couldn't make the ends meet that way to tie it. So those are my little tips, and hope you have fun.